So the world sucks. Voting can be frustrating because, like the British learned with the whole Tony Blair thing.
You can vote anti-war and still get dragged into Iraq. You can deplore torture and still have it carried out in your name. You can vote for the Party of Labour and still watch your services get privatized.
That makes people mad. It makes them not want to vote.
I've actually commented on this before. Voting, when you know you can't change anything, is like trying to pick up objects with your shadow. And then you get rich liberals lecturing you about being apathetic. When they're the ones that really would prefer if you did just show up once every 4 years, stayed out of it the rest of the time. It's a thing in American politics. Walter Lippmann called the general public ignorant and meddlesome outsiders. It's a great way to turn a non-vote into a Trump vote.
Voting is not as satisfying an act as we wish it was, and it's not enough to get you off the hook.
But it is really important, so ignore angsty turn of the century Carl and go vote.
Hopefully we mostly agree on that. All right, so what can you change by voting? I think a lot of us can agree that something not good is going on.
Basically, a bunch of terrible dictators in North Africa get overthrown by their people because of new technologies like Twitter. But it causes all these wars. More refugees on Earth now than any time since World War II. This has fueled xenophobia in the West. Created power vacuums for extremists. We have Beirut exploded on the edge. Nagorno-Karabakh's kicked off again. Cultural genocide in Xinjiang. Brexit could still put the Good Friday Agreement
Fascist
down. Parties gaining traction in the European Union, and the president says he won't leave office if he loses the election.
This happens to humans from time to time. We all know what the worst case scenarios look like.
Poverty and despair turn into politics. Politics is theater. Politics is farce, and then it turns into politics as hate, warfare, violence, terrible violence. Our one and only nuclear war. But in a longer history of colonial exploitation and extermination of indigenous peoples and wars for the most deplorable reasons, assassinations and abuses, slavery and rebellions, human rights movements, uprisings, reconciliation.
After the Second World War, we tried to get away from things like that. But eventually any system, it becomes corrupt, it falters.
The children of the French Revolution did not decolonize Southeast Asia after World War II. Finally, when they lost, they left. Humans tend to be more interested in getting involved with the sword than the hammer, for example, something the colonizers and the guerrillas actually had in common. You're a powerful figure, you have a cult of personality, but the problems are just too hard, so you try and fake it or you silence those complaining of it. Sad to think it might happen to America, but it's not the only danger that's cropped up lately. And we haven't even talked yet about the man of the hour. Do you ever just, look into his eyes? Or do you get triggered like most of the people who probably watch my videos? Get a good look, he's not going anywhere. Even if you don't put him back in the White House, he's got a hell of a brand now. Hi there, America. How y'all doing? Have I managed to scare you yet? 'Cause, I don't think you have to be a snowflake or a communist to, be scared when the president advocates violence to disrupt an election. It's nice, isn't it? Just, taking the tone down for a sec. Taking the pulse down, look at some trees, remember how to feel? Alright. I just wanted to reach across the aisle to some of those of you who maybe don't feel the way I do about the president. Shoot, for all I know, Donald Trump is your hero. I just want to let you know that even if Donald Trump is your hero, I don't hate the man. I know that he's a human being with, he's a human being anyway. Look, if you don't want a civil war, you should have voted for Biden in a postal vote weeks ago. Unless you're worried about the whole election rigging, throwing out the mail-in voting ballots. Alright, but maybe you're one of those people who feel like Trump is key to your livelihood and you need to stick with him because you feel that the Democrats won't have your back.
If you vote for Trump, look, I get it. Let's say, I don't know, you're rural, right? There may not be a lot of racial disparity or economic hardship. It might just be a simple question of your bottom line. What matters in your daily life is like what happens on your ranch or what happens down the mine shaft. Fine.
But if you would reconsider, because if the country goes to hell, you'll feel it too, even if it doesn't hit your wallet. Just have a good think. If you were ever going to vote with your kids' in mind, now's the time.
Christians and other people of faith. As a person of faith myself, I just have a very simple message for you. Pray. You have been connecting with your higher power lately because everything's really distracting and scary in the midst of all this chaos. Just carve out some time and check in and reconnect before you go vote, so that you can feel good about it after Election Day. If, on the other hand, the reprehensible way that America has treated its own citizens has hurt you so badly that you need the catharsis, need to see it burn, go vote for Trump. Seriously. I'm not even judging. I'm a pacifist, so for me, no. But I do actually understand.
The question I'd like you to answer is this. Where's the cycle of violence gonna end? Even if you're so hurt you don't care about anything but your own pain, I want you to know that I still recognize your humanity. But if you could let this one slide and vote for something a little bit milder, we could all really use your help right now.
Those of you I am judging, not that you'd care.
You got money coming out your ears, you don't want to pay your taxes.
Piss off. Stay at home. Seriously, leave us alone.
Your dollars give you 500 billion votes and the rest of us only just get one. In what democracy is that supposed to be okay?
I'm serious, just go live on Mars or something.
Выступает лауреат государственной премии.
The other group that I'm judging, frankly, is a vocal minority of those on the far left.
With, let's face it, something of a performative streak to add on to their moral purity. News of product false consciousness.
Guys, come on. Basically, if you think the world, not just America, can wait 4 more years to get its shit together, you're wrong.
Bernie would have won, so I stayed home and didn't vote last time.
Okay, that sucks. Vote Biden on Monday with your nose, and then on Tuesday get back to where you actually
Out
belong.
on the streets pushing for desperately needed change. Or, I don't know, auditioning for the Red Army Choir or whatever.
Yeah, okay, it's true. You let Trump win.
It's a lot easier to put AOC on the ballot in 4 years. Biden wins, the party could swing to the right for a generation.
That would be bad.
What would be worse is the collapse of human civilization and all life on Earth.
Molecule of complicity in capitalism just for a sec. Strategically, temporarily, with the greater good in mind. With the safety and well-being of your communities in mind. Here we are now.
We gave the commies a pretty good roast there, but not everybody who can't work with establishment parties is an idiot. Actually, they often see the writing on the wall before the rest of us, and they're right about one thing.
Change is happening. Change is going to happen, whether we like it or not. So the question is, we could rise to meet it, or we can pretend that it's not happening, wait for it to slam headfirst into our
Societies and institutions. Look, that's all the time we have for the Cool Out Corner. Thanks for joining me in a deep breath before the plunge. We now return you to your regularly scheduled Panic Attack, already in progress.
Lots of establishment politicians would really love to just crawl back up the calendar. It's not going to happen. This isn't the Upside Down or Mirror Universe or Wayne's World, the Eagle timeline. This is real life. There does need to be a reckoning. So what does that look like?
Is it weird to actually kind of like his smile in this picture? Anyway, side note.
I don't know if any of you have tried feminism, but it's very hard work because you're fighting against your own programming, and that's uncomfortable. It also involves listening to people that you might have knowingly or unknowingly hurt while they tell you about that, and that's challenging stuff.
There are these moments like Me Too, and yeah, they can end up going overboard, or they can end up not going far enough, but these are what I want to call soft reckonings. We're all suffering from the pain that history has heaped on our shoulders running through the generations. That comes out in our identities, and in the soft reckoning model, the snowflake model, if you like, we deal with them through talking a lot, making one another feel uncomfortable, learn the skill of actually facilitating the process. So much change has happened over the last few centuries. We just need to feel one another out again and start to remember why we're connected at all. Soft reckoning. Not because it's for the weak. You ask a wife batterer or a child soldier if looking their victims in the eyes and making amends is for the faint of heart. It's basically soft compared to what the Proud Boys and some of the militant black nationalists have in store for one another.
So there are these painful reckonings, right?
But we're going to keep having them as long as it's safe to do so. And once it's not safe any longer, it's too late for all of us.
Many people on different ends of the political spectrum, they want to frame it as like a culture war. I don't think, I mean, to me it's the age-old question still, change or status quo. Without getting too deep into it, like what actually is business as usual? What actually is change?
Complicated, of course, by the fact that this time around it's not exactly clear which party is serving what. There's nothing we can do. We are actually going to have to look at policies.
Politics can be fun, children.
Okay, so our job here is to divide policies into status quo or change. Low corporate tax, that's been a problem for a long time, that's status quo. Unqualified immunity, police violence is an institution, let's call that change. Deal with collapse of planet's biosphere. The radicalness of what you'd have to do, that means change. Solve pandemic, it's also structural, it's big, it's change. LGBT, these are subaltern groups, they're always going to be struggling against society, so change again. Better, more stable international relations. That one is status quo for the United States. It's very odd that their international relations are this bad. Voter suppression, that is actually status quo too, but the level he's doing it is new, so that's a tough one. Small government, that's since the 80s with Reagan, that's status quo. Violence on E-Day, that is new, that is change. And offshoring of industry, that's a Trump change move. And homelessness, that's a Biden change move, kind of. Peaceful transfer of power, that's status quo. Legal marijuana, that's change. Whoa, we're going kind of fast here. Can you just back up? Maybe was it just stressful to see armed militias, civilians loyal to the president? Okay, legal marijuana is definitely change. It may be legal in some places, but it sure ain't legal everywhere yet. End homelessness, is that really a Biden thing? Peaceful transfer of power, definitely status quo. It's the biggest incident. Okay, civilian militias, obviously that's new, so that's change. What do we got? Establishment politics, so that's the handicap we give Biden, but establishment economics, I would say, it goes to Trump, so that evens out. Freedom of movement, like in the EU, that's a change idea for America. Hard borders is a status quo. No, wait. Go back again. Okay, so why do they get hung up on freedom of movement and hard borders? Because actually they are both status quo in different ways. It's like both defend the nation state and the hard border, but also free flow of goods and individuals in free trade. Whoa, this is good. Where are you going? Don't go back any further, it's depressing. Okay. So establishment politics, that's Biden's curse, and establishment economics is Trump's. Freedom of movement, that's status quo, and so's hard border. Okay, paradoxically. Accepting refugees, that was status quo. Still could be if we throw them out. Punitive justice and... Well, this is really fast. Could we slow it down a little bit? Okay, go back again. Yeah, punitive and corrective justice are big topics. So basically, it's another attempt to give one-on-one to Biden and Trump to show the contrast between the two of them. Jesus, it's nice to be outside time, though. I wouldn't be able to keep up with this if we had to do it, Anyway, don't go back as far as the militias. Yeah, good. So hard borders, freedom of movement, accepting refugees. Yeah, man, the United States accepts like 10% of what they used to. Privatization, that's status. Whoa! You know what? Okay, the rewinding thing was cute for a bit, but why don't you just jump me right back in at freedom of movement, half speed? Okay, wow, we're back to hard borders. It's a lot more scenic of view this way. Accepting refugees. The thing with that is it's even less than 10%. Like, the US, now Canada takes more. We have a tenth their population. Now Canada takes more refugees. Also, Canada has corrective justice more than punitive, in the States it's the other way around, and you look at our crime rates and violence rates. Okay, wait, here we go. Peaceful transfer. It's the same thing over again. Is there a glitch on the table? Oh, hold on, cut. Like, the US, now Canada takes more. We have a tenth their population. Now Canada takes more refugees. Also, Canada has corrective justice more than punitive, in the States. Are you okay? Wow, it's kind of a whirlwind. It's like a nightmare. I just keep seeing peaceful transfer of power. So what do you think that's about? It's the scary part. Yes, you know, it's how you tell us from them, almost. If when you were a kid and you didn't understand that, like, it was a privilege to live in a stable place or whatever, you thought, oh well, we have a peaceful transfer of power. The idea that, I mean, fascism or whatever, it's not fascism, but like one of the things about fascism is you kind of never figure out when it's fascism until you're watching a Ken Burns documentary. You know what, can we put the like snowflake dictionary definitions back up or something? I'm getting like, it's been dark screen for, I don't really get the problem with dark screen. What, we're 7 minutes, 8 minutes? How long have we been going now? Like, this was supposed to be like a 2-minute segment that would take. Why is freedom of movement back up again? Relax, I got it. Carl, is something wrong? Oh my God, Carl! Why is freedom of movement back out? Okay, relax, I got it. Holy hell. There's like a little cube of... Okay. What happened? Did I pass out? Carl, is he? Carl, somebody was worried. Should I be worried? It's, wow. God, it's pretty. Oh, wow.
Dangerously.
What? Venice?
Partially underwater. It is the symbolic
Atishka.
everything that is right, true, good, and just. Brink of annihilation.
Laid waste. The damage
Uzbekistan?
is heart-wrenching to see.
Where?
I am a guardian here. Welcome. An angel to speak with you.
Jeez.
What you observe is your soul's
mice.
It falters. It fails.
Whoa, you're very loud.
Humans are not
Alright. Ow. Why does touching it hurt?
Think about it. You just do.
You do not return to
Live outside time.
mortal temporality.
Temporality. Okay. Return.
Your soul will be destroyed.
Sorry, what?
Laid waste. The damage is heart-wrenching.
No. No chance for sure. Fragile creatures. What are you? What is a guardian?
Leave you. Human will have your soul. Away.
What do you mean? I don't have a soul. Her voice. Beware her voice. What? How? Beware her voice. What does that mean? Oh, okay. I've seen Dogma. I'm not sure I like that. Alanis Morissette, like my things. What are
Okay, Carl, game face. People are talking about angels, and there's just a hint of Angkor. Time's all weird. Is this heaven? Because that would mean, what, did I die of fright, or have a psychotic break, slip into a dissociative state? Did I get so scared that I just... And how can I be here if I'm detached from my soul? What does that mean? The soul is.
God, it's like one of the best days of my life. Family showed up and started watching us play. Okay, right. Voice, power. The angels using powerful memories to communicate.
Soul. Your soul.
In pain.
The president.
Music. Not important.
President's not important.
You must turn to your
Body. Return to my... Okay.
The election of Donald Trump.
music. Not important.
Back.
Return to your
I don't think I understand. How do I do that? Jeez. Okay, so find the runway to the yellow couch. Yellow couch? Okay, wait. I guess I've got a yellow blanket tossed on my couch right now. But what's a... Okay, runway, like landing strip, return to your but come down from heaven, okay. Alright, sure. How? Okay, what do you want me to do? Okay, so the world got really, really scary, and I somehow checked out. Whether that was my nervous system, or my psyche, or my actual soul, which, by the way, how does your soul leave your body, and then your... Like, what leaves your soul exactly? Remember... But what do I need to do? I mean, yes, I'm only here because I wanted to say something about the world, be in the world. So what do I do? What? Face the fear and agree to exist. Want to exist, even now. Want to be in the world, want to be with other people even when they're so scary.
Become invisible.
And and then I get my soul back. That's it? I feel like I'm missing something. Listen for what? Music.
Time. Remember for
Music! Well, this whole thing's been kind of musical, I guess, right? I can hear a few different things right now. What am I supposed to... Where have I heard that before? Oh my god, Carl! Oh my god, Carl! Wait. That's... Do I say that? Something like that is in the script.
Hey, look who's back. I got corruption up on the screen. You in?
Can I tell you something? I don't know what day it is. I don't know. I started this thing on Halloween, and it's days later, and I've only slept once, and I think I've stayed up for days in a row, and I don't know if you listen to the pacing of this thing, but it's I mean, I think it starts off good, but then I'm like racing at this frantic...
Oh, piss off. You've been running for your life.
I mean, I thought the pacing was better than that.
I am not talking about the pacing of this video, and you know it, but it is interesting.
Okay, so like I saw this thing on the Senate floor, right? This senator... Do you have the clip?
And so then on top of that, to rush through a nominee who may end up invalidating the Affordable Care Act.
No,
Hey,
no,
hey,
no,
whoa.
no, we're not.
No,
doing
that's
this.
one of the most moving things I have seen.
No,
in-
stop running. It's clever. You feel.
I mean, I think there's a
Chris
point.
Murphy's emotions instead of your own. But you need to feel your own
I
right
think
now.
there's a point there.
Yeah, the point is really, really obvious. Like, you think Democrats have compassion and Republicans don't, but it's like knowing that isn't enough to get you onto the runway landing this plane. You need something else.
Also, I have no idea how to cite that. Can we just forget that happened?
No, I really think there's something.
No,
I get it. He reads the names. You cried. It was a big moment. No, it's real. But
I know it's not gonna get you there. Okay, so what is gonna get me there?
Bum, bum. Okay. You mean the end? Like finishing? Or do you mean what the guy who conducted it said about only once everything is exactly how it needs to be, everything is perfectly fitted together, and everything that could be reduced to making sense, every single element can be offered to you all at the same time. Only then do you finish watching it and go, alright, I'm free now.
because that's what really stuck with me about it, the idea of being free. I mean, how close are we? We both know all you have to do to be free is finish this. So why don't we finish it? It's like the whole unconstructed dream space in Inception or something. You could just go on building forever, or you can finish it. So, you know, at the start, when you first get the idea, there's this excitement, right? And then you start scripting it, and it's terrifying. There's this massive blank, open void that just hurts and hurts and hurts, and your soul is desolate just looking at it. And then there comes this point that we're at now, where it's like you're in a black, not a cave, but a black space, a dark space. It actually almost feels more like a concert hall, but with no one and nothing in it. And somewhere in front of you, it's quite large, this space, somewhere far ahead is that runway we made. Because it's already all edited, the whole spooky outro. There's literally fireworks at the end. Well, a few. This conversation, I guess I'm just sad because we shot all this stuff. All this politics stuff. And I just don't want to see it go to waste. Also, weren't we trying to make a point there? Don't worry about that footage. I've actually been playing it for about 3 minutes now, so we should have shot through most of what was interesting. I just thought it would upset you to keep talking about it. Like, you also just need to be able to give this election a break. It feels like, I don't know, it could be like that moment where the Roman Empire tipped over, rather, where the Roman Republic tipped over into the Roman Empire. I also think it's worth acknowledging that you're exhausted and under-resourced, and you're going to start fading if you stay in this for much longer. You cannot stop sleeping for the rest of your life. It's not a question of procrastinating or anything. There is an emotional resolution here that you are putting. I want to do it. Let's do it. What do I need to do? Okay, that's a good question. I would say get all the little bits, the pieces, the fiddly things done, and brew a pot of coffee. And, you know, any electronics we'll need for, like, the last round of editing, whatever. And also get ready for, like, the real world again. Prepare to, like, turn on your devices and reconnect. It's been days. I mean, Silicon Valley guys have to book months in advance to go on a digital detox like this. The irony being you've been working on a computer the whole time and just had the discipline not to look at. Look, I think this is going to be great. I think this is going to be like, but we won't know until. Okay, no, let's do this. Let's do this. Okay, how does it work? I'm like imagining. Yeah. The whole thing about dodgy money. You know, you're on the couch with that yellow blanket on it, you're in that maroon sweater, you got that scarf on, right? You can see that image of yourself from far away, just like a little low pressure sodium light in the distance or something, you know, kind of gold and twinkly. You need to be able to see that getting closer and closer. I think if you can visualize that one thing while you make your coffee, you've got it, because that's our runway. We hit that, off we go through the finale of the. It's a great piece, you know. It has, it has heft. It's very Wagnerian.
It's Bruckner.
Yeah, okay, whatever. You say potato, I say
Can we
potato.
focus? I mean, like, I'm there, right? Like, I've plugged my phone in, I've plugged the hard drive back in, which, by the way, don't jiggle the computer. We could now have problems.
Okay, so what do you need? It sounds to me... it really sounds to me like you're ready to go. Like, in 15 minutes... this could all be over. You could go to sleep and wake up and see who won the presidential election.
Oh, God, don't jinx it. Just the thought of re-entering history right now. Why, finding out if I... God, if I...
Okay, relax. Take a deep breath. It's not as bad as you think. Haven't you noticed it? Haven't you noticed anything yet? Are you okay? It's I'm starting to fade. 'Cause you're in the tunnel. What do you mean you're starting to fade? Well, all right. When you go into something like this on Halloween night, and it's the election, it's huge, and you start meditating on a piece of classical music by Bruckner and think about Sergiu Celibidache's comments on transcendentalism and get really, 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 really deep dive into it and whatever, have spiritual experience, you just seal off completely from the entire world. Now you're in the tunnel. You're getting further and further away from the place where all those little voices and bits and parts of you are, because when you finish this, you're going back into the world, and that means that I'm fading. I don't want you to go. I don't want to be alone. Then you haven't been listening to a word I've been saying. You're not gonna be alone. You're alone right now. You've had yourself in a bind this whole time, right? On the one hand, here you are, sealed inside yourself, so sealed that you're having conversations with various parts of yourself. Call it artistry or something, I don't know. Be absurd. Artist. No one would ever listen to this. Look, yeah, well, you're doing a great job with the self-pity. Okay, that's always something people find as attractive viewing. I'm sorry, okay? I know I'm down. Okay, I wasn't trying to put you down. It was just, it's irritating. It's another one of your patented, very elaborate, very clever defense mechanism double blinds, like racing through all your content so you don't have time to think, narrating so quick so the viewer doesn't have time to think, like trying to throw up media so that you can distract from the fact that, like, you're in the middle of a choice right now. This is really happening right now. This is not artifice or art or fiction. This is real, and it's happening right now. And if you put this up online, you have no idea what'll happen, but it'll change something. I mean, you talk about not wanting to be lonely. Lonely is what you are right now, but maybe that's good. Maybe that's the artist's way. You can just be free to do whatever you want. There is a time, though, where you take a deep breath, say, I've done what I could, election-wise too, right? Like, if you have missed it, if it is too late for whatever you have to say to influence the election, you think I'm done, you think I'm ready to go right now. Hit that runway, play into the last, whatever, 7 minutes. I think you're lonely and afraid. You're lonely because you're stuck, sealed in here with me in the creative project that never ends. And you're afraid for probably a lot better reasons, because what's been going on in the world, you got to wonder, is it a safe place? You know, loneliness hurts, but connecting can risk even worse damage. Isn't that what this video is about? Ultimately, I mean, there's two things. There's the judgment of Trump's character, which you've been trying and failing to do because some secret weird little part of you empathizes with him for being an unloved child of a mean father. And then there's this other thing that's like an elephant in the room. You're terrified. And we're all terrified. And yet you're all talking about coming together and having confidence that we'll come together and vote Biden, we'll come together and get over our fear. Well, are you going to do it? Are you going to trust the world with yourself? Or are you going to stay in here with the rest of us who admittedly are excellent company forever? Okay, I've got... what do I have left? I have, I forgot, the credits. The credits don't work very well. So like at the end of the whole spooky outro sequence, I couldn't get Bensound in. We need to do a credit for Bensound. That's fine. Don't even worry about that. That's so simple compared to what we were doing with the credits, entering hundreds of Bikini Atoll coordinates and all that crap. Oh, we should thank the Central Nuclear as well. They didn't quite get in the credits. Do you want to just... Yeah, let's do two credit screens right now. I'll just throw them up right now. Okay, make them like cool or pretty or something, you know, as satisfying. It's like the last piece of credit we'll do. The last piece of credit we do, I think, is special thanks Caitlin, Chica Caitlin, or Studio Logris. I'm getting confused. That all depends on your view of the linearity of time. Well, they haven't seen it yet. Who hasn't seen what?
The people watching, the folks at home, whatever.
Sorry,
viewers.
Who? They're looking at your mushroom cloud you asked for right now.
I didn't ask for a mushroom cloud.
No, like the credits. I did them. They're done. They're up. They're done.
Why did
They've already
you
been
have time.
seen. But I think for the viewer, the last credit will be whatever the final thing on screen is, which now that I remember is some kind of fake copyright statement and
Permission to Hope, or why
the
maybe
name
don't
of the piece. And
Republican
Studio Logris, which we
time.
drug up out of nowhere.
Well, wait, you mean people watching? What do you mean?
No, you did it. I'm happy to say it's done. It's out. There's people staring at you.
Future.
I was gonna say talking, but it's still a black screen.
Mostly.
Now that the
Past.
yeah, you did it. There's only one detail left.
Outside of time.
Well, do you have anything you want to do before?
I thought that at some point I would, get to the crux of the
Okay.
piece, but I'm faltering.
Okay. What if I ask you a question? How do you feel right now?
Incredibly hungry and tired, mostly.
Okay. Trick question. How do you feel now?
Ready.
Ready.
Both parties take dodgy money.
Heading actually thought I would be.
No
Parties
place
take
to
dodgy money.
So we've got to find a way to get ourselves back into that life. Right, it's banking, it's politics. You know what the truth is? Like, I just look him in the eye and I'm not sure he has compassion, and I believe all life is sacred. I can see some of that in Biden, but I just don't see it in Trump.
I just want you to protect all these people who are both parties hurting.
We have a long
Maybe
way.
it's more about attitude than I thought. After all, violence is kind of an attitude, aggression. I mean, both parties take dodgy.
are kind of like parties of different parts of big business.
Okay, I mean both parties
take dodgy money. They don't necessarily fight fair. But let's say that both parties have a good case that changes what they're going to bring. Which version do you want? Which version do you prefer? Which party's actions and words line up better with a peaceful outcome? I'm watching very important load-bearing norms, laws, and institutions, not the ones that permit inequality and corruption, the ones that keep us safe, the ones that keep food on our shelves crumbling day after. I might be overreacting, but if you see tanks, you owe me and I told you so. Tanks are never a good sign. Do we leave it to simmer and let parties fight it out? Because that's the choice, Does there need to be blood or not? Can we come together? Can we work together or not? Okay, so forget everything you wish you could have in a president. That is not what this election is about. I believe that love and compassion and care are stronger than hate. I also believe my fellow humans everywhere don't want to see their children's or even their enemies' children's lives destroyed by violence, starvation, despair, and trauma. And make no mistake, that is where war leads. That is where violence leads. It can all slide so quickly. I have spent time near conflict and upheaval, and I've spoken to a lot of people whose countries have fallen apart. It's a very common story. Day 1, picnic in the park. Day 2, tanks in the streets. You don't have to be from a, quote, crappy country. All you need is enough pressure on institutions of governance, enough people willing to do terrible things, and not enough people to stop them. I'm actually betting there's enough of us to kick this guy out of office. Can we do it? Yes, we can do it. Basically, I, some rando that you've never met, want to give you permission to hope. Because extreme actions and beliefs and institutions emerge from extreme circumstances. Our communities, societies, laws, institutions, leaders can do better than this. Have to be able to do it. We can all do better together. Each and every one of us needs to start treating everyone we meet, regardless of their political beliefs or positions, a lot better. Out there watching this, you've got to know that we can get through this. It all starts with giving ourselves permission to hope. And then
All you gotta do is act on it.
No, I can't vote. I'm not American. I'm not American. You know, I just had a camera and some stock footage that I shot and like drew a couple things and made a couple charts and, you know, threw a script together. You think I like commenting on politics? I mean, no, I'm not here because I love making my political opinions known so the trolls can eat me alive. I just used whatever I thought I had to hand to do what little I could. You're no different. Get out there, jump into the conversation, change minds. Fuel up your compassion and kindness and intellect and passion and dive into the debate. But when you do, remember that the other person on the other side of the argument from you is still a human being with emotions, and you know, you don't know their backstory, you don't know how they got to where they're at now, and they deserve, whoever they are, they deserve compassion and respect. Unless they're a bot. It'd be nice if you could just shoot them down, the bots. It's duck hunting. Remember that game that they used a little laser gun? Am I dating myself? And when we get online and we talk to one another, do it as people who want to reach a common ground, not as emotional loose cannons that want to try and see if anyone will be their non-con therapist for the day. Not trying to force one another to do emotional labor. Attack the ideas, attack the policies. Not to say this isn't emotional, but we all need to like collaborate and get out of this. So as I'm shooting, it's Halloween night. I shot all this on Halloween. Happy Halloween fun facts I just made up. There's 4 types of Halloween. Kids going nuts, bigger kids blowing stuff up. Gone.
Second type, a kind of hallmark holiday made of pure capitalism designed to give your children early onset diabetes. Plus there's a pandemic. Enough said. Type number 3, monsters, demons, ghosts, bankers, ghouls, insurance claims adjusters. You know, like a spooky romp as much as the next person, but haven't we had enough in 2020? That leaves my personal favorite, Samhain, the Celtic New Year, where the gates to all the different worlds open up and mythical heroes roam the land, and you can find yourself in a new place with new possibilities that exceed your wildest dreams. That's the kind of November that I want to be walking into. Let's make something good happen.
Je suis libre maintenant.